Thank you, Chairman Lee, Vice Chairman Byer, members of the committee. I deeply appreciate the opportunity to come before you to talk about the work of the charitable sector in our country, our response to the COVID-19 crisis, and the role that tax policy plays in driving private giving. United Way of Salt Lake builds cross-sector partnerships that work to solve our community's most complex social and economic problems. Within these partnerships, we hold ourselves accountable to results that no single organization or sector can achieve alone. Our commitment to creating lasting change and helping all kids and families succeed regardless of their circumstances holds especially true during this time. As we continue to address the health and economic impacts of the pandemic, and as we are all called to address the urgent need for racial justice in our country, we know that the role of nonprofits, of faith organizations, and of charitable giving is critical. Over the past 3 months, hundreds of individual Utahns have generously risen to the challenge of supporting our community. In addition, key business partners like Goldman Sachs, Mark Miller, Zions Bank, Savage, and many others have contributed to this work. This generosity has allowed us to respond to dramatic increases in contacts through 211, which provides information referral to those in need, to provide critical support to dozens of our community partners meeting essential basic needs, and to develop a comprehensive initiative to address the dramatic learning loss experienced by so many students over the past 3 months. We know that the reasons for giving are highly personal, but I can assure you from firsthand experience that people give to charities for altruistic reasons. Sometimes this selfless concern for others is driven by faith or simply a desire to give back to the community. Often, and in our case, it is because people believe that by working together, we can solve our community's most complex problems. But tax policy does influence people's behavior, from business investment decisions to buying a home. This doesn't mean that every person is influenced by tax policy, but large numbers of people are. Charitable giving is the most discretionary financial decision someone can make. Good tax policy might be the nudge that someone needs to make their first donation, or it might prompt a longtime donor to give a little more. Consider, for example, a person who gives $500 per year to charities. If they pay taxes at a 20% rate, that means they are paying $100 in taxes on that money that they are giving away. Setting aside the fundamental unfairness of taxing income that's being donated to help others, those taxes may prompt a smaller donation from some people who aren't in a position to give anymore. Conversely, if Congress were to relieve tens of millions of Americans from taxes on income they donate, it's not hard to imagine the positive impact on charitable giving. I'm definitely not an economist or a tax policy expert, but I know that studies have consistently found that good tax policy will drive more giving. That includes increased giving by people who make small donations. United Way's, basic needs charities, faith-based charities, and disaster relief charities rely heavily on small donations from large numbers of people. In our case, we raise about $15 million per year in Salt Lake, but our average individual donation is $229 per year. Those small donations add up. Nationally, United Way's raise over $1 billion per year from small donors who give an average of $155 per year. Of course, in my view, the ideal federal tax policy would be to permanently relieve all taxpayers from paying taxes on income they donate to charity. That could happen through an above-the-line exclusion or a non-itemizer charitable deduction combined with the existing deduction. But we understand that that may not be viable at this moment. But a temporary non-itemizer deduction could be instrumental in helping charities help our communities and those impacted by the crises facing our country. We understand Chairman Lee, Senator Klobuchar, and others are supporting a temporary deduction modeled after Senator Langford's and Congressman Walker's legislation. We think that legislation would provide a much-needed infusion of donations directly to the charities that are leading the COVID-19 response and recovery efforts. The recovery efforts by charities will go well beyond 2020, so the longer this legislation is in effect, the better it will help us support our communities and those who have been affected by COVID-19. As I close, I want to note that several members of this committee have supported and personally donated to their local United Way, and others have played a significant role in raising donations for their local United Way. On behalf of our entire network, I want to extend our deepest thanks to each of you. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to answer questions.